guys, welcome back to the channel. If you like the content, hit the subscribe button, leave a like down below. We talked today about Rumble Roses. Oh, just realized my shirt's green. Oops. Anyway, let's talk about Rumble Roses and how we could get that to the modern audience, and like how could they reintroduce this franchise to make it appealing to both new players and to the old players. I have a few ideas. Tell me if I should shut up or tell me if I'm onto something here. Hopefully we can get this video trending so we can get a new Rumble Roses game, whether it be a reboot, a remaster collection of the first two games, which I doubt will happen, or a third game, a follow-up, like a continuation. So idea number one. They could take Rumble Roses characters and team up with WoW, Women of Wrestling, and kind of have a cool crossover thing where storylines have those wrestlers come in, and then that gets their fan base in on the game, right? That those people into the game on board, and it'd be really, really cool because then you could have those wrestlers do the mocap for the game also. So kill two birds with one stone. They could also team up, since this is a Japanese company, they could also team up with Stardom over there in Japan. That'd be really, really cool also. Or just have them both. So you have two real all-ladies wrestling companies and bring them in. And then they could go and cherry pick certain wrestlers that aren't tied to a main company. Like, let's say, Victoria, that is going to be in the wrestling. Basically, everybody in the wrestling code on the ladies' side, and everyone in Ultra Pro Wrestling on the ladies' side. Heck, and even some of the alumni from WWE that just got let go. They could really reach out to just the women and bring them all in and make an all-complete women's wrestling game. The question is, would you guys buy that? If they made an all-female wrestling game in today's culture, would it sell? With just Women of Wrestling and Stardom? That's the question. I think it would sell very well in Japan. But here in the States, I don't know. Another route they could take is, since this is Konami and they own Metal Gear Solid, Silent Hill, Castlevania, and those old Ninja Turtles games. They don't own Ninja Turtles in general, but those old games. They could take those franchises and Rumble Roses and put them into a new wrestling game. Add a men's division, add a women's division, tag team, make it a full, complete wrestling game, but with a bunch of new male characters, the original Rumble Roses cast, so you have both. You can start off with 10 ladies and 10 men, and then if the game does well, do DLC and add the rest of the ladies that didn't get added. They can make they can make so many new characters, and then they could add Solid Snake, they could add Belmont from Castlevania, or any of the other Castlevanias. They could add the guy from Silent Hill. They could add a Ninja Turtle if they can get the rights to it. Imagine a wrestling game just like that. That would be so cool. That would be awesome. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, correct me in the comments below, but I think Konami owned Bloody Roar also. They can even bring back dead franchises, and this would be a great way to introduce modern fans, today's fans, to all these characters in these old games that are pretty much dead, except for Metal Gear, of course. And then they could build games off of that later on. They could make the new Silent Hill. Obviously, everybody knows who Solid Snake is. Snake would be fine, but having him in there would get that fan base in the game. Castlevania, they could bring that fan base in. I mean, how cool would that be? They could make it like, I don't know, they'd have to blend the line of comic booky and like real wrestling, because Rumble Roses, for all intents and purposes, is kind of a legit wrestling game if you think about it. If you go and play that, some of the moves are a little like, well, you know, but for the most part, it's a legitimate wrestling game. It has great mechanics. So how cool would that be if they could do that and bring that to the modern era, but with all of Konami's characters, not just an all-female wrestling game? I think I'm onto something here. That would be really, really cool, and it'd be a way to bring back all those characters and get us a new wrestling game and bring back the Rumble Roses characters. But what kind of art style would they use, though? Or what kind of, would they do the fan servicey stuff? I think they'd have to walk that fine line. They'd obviously have to redesign all the Rumble Roses characters so that the game doesn't get destroyed by everybody online, but they could walk that fine line and do, both. Because fighting games have fan service in them a little bit, right? Like Street Fighter, Kami, Chun-Li, right? Then you got, I think Mortal Kombat really toned it down in the last 2 games. But then obviously Dead or Alive, Soul Calibur, Tekken, they all have that fan service, but they do it tastefully. I feel like they could do this with Rumble Roses, the characters, redesign them a little bit, bring them to the modern era, and revitalize the franchise. And then off of that Smash Brothers style wrestling game, then you can make it a separate Rumble Roses game, and then all the other characters will be fine because they all have their own franchises anyway. But that'd be a great way to reintroduce the Rumble Roses characters. So what, am I onto something here, or am I crazy, right? The whole thing that sparked this video idea was I was playing the Xbox Series X, and I'm scrolling through my games. I only have like 2 wrestling games on my Xbox because I play most of them on my PlayStation. And I saw Rumble Roses. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to play that. I haven't played that in a while. So I loaded it up. I started playing it. And then I remembered I bought some of the DLC, so I was curious to go, if there was any more DLC I didn't have. And there's 95 costumes of DLC, but it doesn't tell you what you're getting or show you what you're getting. It's just a description. So it'd be really cool if you could see what you're getting. Plus, there's reviews on there. Out of 129 reviews, the game is almost a perfect score. And that kind of blew my mind with today's audience. I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, holy crap. A lot of the reviews are tongue-in-cheek. Like, you can play it with one hand, and stuff like that. But for the most part, they all the positive reviews say something about the amazing gameplay. And Yuke's, they're masterminds when it comes to making wrestling games. But they always manage to fall short on something. Like AEW, for example. I'm not going to get into it, but you know what I'm talking about. They just fell short. They just need ad stuff. Rumble Roses, they fell short. There's no story mode, but the gameplay's there. They're really good at making wrestling gameplay. Unfortunately, who makes this new wrestling game? Because Yuke's is tied up with AEW, at least I hope they are. So we need a new team, a new company that Konami could hire. Probably go to Bandai. I think Bandai would be a good fit. I feel like they can make a competent wrestling game, even though, well, I don't know if they've ever made one, but they've made so many fighting games. I think they'd be a really good candidate for making that. Plus, they have a huge developer pool to pull from, so I think they could get the right people to make a good Rumble Roses style, Smash Bros, whatever, wrestling game. So anyway, how do you guys feel about this? I feel like I've rambled on long enough here. I love wrestling games, all of them. Like, there's a couple I dislike. Like, I don't even dislike AEW. We just wanted it to be better. I mean, there's nothing to do in it after you beat the story mode, and online is broken, so I keep playing it because it's fun, but there's just nothing to do. And it's the same thing with Rumble Roses. In Rumble Roses, there's tons of stuff to unlock, right? Like all the costumes and all the Photoshop stuff or photoing stuff. I don't know. Am I on something here? Would you buy an all-female wrestling game? Or would you buy a Konami Smash Brothers style wrestling game? Which one of those would you like better? Sound off in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and stay frosty.